If you've struggled with stress, balance, or burnout, and simply feel discouraged or even defeated, and if you're ready to move from force to flow and enjoy ultimate Zen success in your career, health, or relationships, then the Zen Success Show is for you. Your host, Carissa Sims, is an entrepreneur, corporate consultant, best-selling author, meditation teacher, and healer who has found her own Zen success. Here's your host, Carissa Sims.
Welcome to this week's episode of Zen Success. Today, I have the pleasure of speaking with Maria Mantoudakis. Maria is an international best-selling author of Tsunami to Greatness, which she has in the background there, award-winning motivational speaker, transformational leader, and personal development coach for more than 20 years. Maria is the founder and CEO of Recreate Success Now, LLC. I love that you put now. Maria combines her knowledge and experience to empower her clients to reclaim and transform their life in their journey to success and greatness. Maria has mentored thousands to recreate successful, transformed, and intentional lives. Welcome, Maria.
Thank you so much for having me today. Thank you.
My pleasure. So I see in the background there you have an orchid, a vibrant orchid. Now, what is it about orchids that you love, or is it more like the colors and the style?
Oh, just beautiful flowers, right? So I was attracted to the beauty.
Wonderful. Well, do you believe everyone has a purpose, and how can we connect with it?
Yes. So I do believe that we all have a purpose. And I do believe it's okay to not know it, but to always be seeking it. So, but in that process, never to feel less than whole. Just to know in the background that you have one. So if you don't know what your purpose is, it's all good, because you will know it at some point in your life. So how do we connect with our purpose? For me, I had several clues throughout my life. So ever since I was little, I just love to be around people, and especially because I was an only child.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah, because you have this like really calm and joyful energy.
Thank you so much. So, I was alone. So if I ever saw other children, I always wanted to be with them, and I always wanted to understand them. And there's a story that kind of goes with that. My father had come from a family of 18 children. I'm sorry, I just lied. 16 children. 16 children.
Okay. You just lied. It's hard. It's easy to lose track,
My mother had come from a family of 5. So I think they were both terrified that they had an only child. And my father especially was very concerned that I was going to be very self-centered, not care about people. So anytime I would come to him, he used to work right next door to where we lived. He was a carpenter.
Oh, wonderful.
Unless he had machines going, if he was creating something, I would always go and I would talk to him, and he pretended he listened anyway. But especially if I was upset because I had an argument with someone at school, I would run in and I would say, I am so mad at Helen because she did this, and this to me. And he would say, you have to present it to me from Helen's perspective.
Wow. That's so insightful. I love it.
You tell me how she felt, and why was she sad, and why was she angry? And then afterwards, we'll talk about how you feel. So I was always very fascinated to understand how others thought, and why? And why? Where does that come from? Also, what I found throughout my life is that even if I said something nonchalantly, people followed it. And that one,
You felt the power of that. You got a little taste.
specifically, one time there was some event and I was in a Toastmasters meeting. And I guess I mentioned it. I didn't even remember that I mentioned it. And when I went to the event, half of the Toastmasters Club was there. And I was so surprised. I was like, what are you guys doing here? And they said, well, you said you were coming. So I was very shocked
Wow.
that people listen to what I say and they kind of followed it. So, of course, I concluded that I am here to put out important messages. And,
Beautiful.
and then I had to find them. And the story of how I wrote my book is only one example of how the universe brings situations to me that are messages that need to go out into the world.
Oh, wonderful. I had a quick question before we go on. Where are you calling from right now?
Oh, I'm in New Jersey.
New Jersey. And where did you grow up?
I grew up in Athens, Greece.
Oh, okay. Because I was thinking your last name sounds Greek, but I wasn't sure if you grew up here. That's amazing. Oh my gosh. I have a special connection with Athena. Yeah.
Oh,
The wisdom goddess.
beautiful,
And
beautiful.
that's your city, Athens. Amazing, amazing. Yeah. So we can go back to your story now. I just wanted everyone to get that visual because it's so powerful hearing your story as a child, you running next door to your father's work, and it's in Greece. So, having that visual, I think, is really amazing.
Exactly. So I discovered my purpose quite young.
And
And
how old was that?
oh, well, I'm saying quite young. When I was a teenager,
Teenager. Yeah, that's amazing.
and I became very determined to go to college and to become someone who could put messages out into the world. And the situation was when we came to the United States with my parents, of course, they had no money. We came to the US, we spent all the money we had to
To get
travel.
here. Yeah, to get here. Right.
Exactly. So here I come. The first time we came, I was in sixth grade. The second time, I was in ninth grade. And I announced I'm going to college. And my parents are like, number one, you're a girl, so why do you need to go to college? But number two, how is this going to happen, right?
Yeah.
Um, but again, it took a lot of, I had to do this because I had messages to put out there. And, I had to have the education to understand those messages and to be able to put them out into the world. Now, for people that don't know what their purpose is and they would like to know what it is, I would tell them, think about what brings you joy,
Mm,
because our purpose brings us joy. This
I see.
conversation today brings
Oh,
joy.
yeah, me too. And I did an event recently called Being in Joy, and I'm working with this artist on her collection. It's called Being in Joy. Yeah. So
How
that's so in alignment.
beautiful. Which,
Yeah.
which actually being in joy is really, so many people say that that's the purpose of our life.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine how much we miss the boat. Right? We are we are here to experience joy, and we're here to create joy. And so many people just miss that, right? And sometimes create the total opposite. So if you ask yourself, what brings me joy? I know there are many people that are musical and they will say,
Yeah,
music gives me joy.
right. And
Nature.
then people say like, oh, but I can't make money doing that, or they maybe have excuses. Oh, this is just a hobby, or I just sing in the shower, or whatever it is to minimize it. I do that too.
Right, right, of course. So money is a whole different area, right? And,
Okay.
and the reason I say that is that just like everything else, just as an example, you know, sometimes we don't have health, or sometimes we are lacking in relationships, or sometimes we are lacking in money, right? And that, if we believe in the law of attraction, right, is associated with mindset, with our beliefs.
Mm,
There are so many people that block money.
I see.
They believe money is bad, or, money is at the root of all evil. And, if you have beliefs that say rich people are bad, you kind of don't want to be rich. You don't want to have money. You're kind of pushing money out. So the
Mm.
money thing is a totally separate area that we absolutely could talk about today.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we're getting to purpose. We're talking about purpose, and that is an amazing way that you just suggested, is to connect with what brings you joy.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, I had a friend who actually said, nothing brings me joy. I haven't,
Oh, oh no. And this was a friend of yours?
yes, she was a lovely person. Sometimes we attract people into our lives that, there's a reason for it, right?
Right.
Sometimes
They
for
need
the
help or whatever it might be. Right. And it,
that
it could be just temporary. It could be just like a temporary relationship in your life.
exactly, exactly. But basically, and I felt so badly for her because she really did want to know her purpose. So basically the message for people that can't come up with what gives them joy, right? That can't connect with music or art or nature, or what's coming up for me right now. A lovely man, Rich Gurman, every single day goes out into the ocean and swims with dolphins, right? And his purpose, his connection is actually, the dolphins and the ocean. And of course, he's out to save the ocean. This,
Oh, okay. Is he also like an inspirational speaker too and coach?
I know that he's a coach,
Uh-huh.
and he has a company called Joint Venture JVIC, and I don't remember what the I speak,
Oh, okay. Because I
but
think I met him if he lives in Orange County, if he lives in California.
he does,
And
yes,
he
yes.
does. Okay. Yeah. I met him because I remember his story of moving from Florida. So
Yes.
but I didn't know that about him
How
now.
How funny is it that that person came up when you asked about purpose? I was like, boy, there's a person who knows exactly his purpose.
His purpose, right. I'm going to have to write that down. Maybe I need to reconnect with him.
Yes,
Rich.
yes, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
And but anyway, if you don't know what your purpose is, and if you don't know what gives you joy, I would say follow your curiosity.
Mm.
Even if you don't know, there are always things that come up in your life that make you curious. And the people that don't know their purpose most of the time are the most curious. The problem becomes that as you're following your curiosity, sometimes you can't connect it. Like, I'm curious about boats, and then I'm curious about plants, and
Uh-huh.
I'm curious about sewing. It's like, how do you connect those things? And what I say to everyone is just follow your curiosity. enjoy the joy of it. And there will be a point in your life where everything's going to become connected.
That's so interesting. I want to share a little bit about myself related to that. Because when I was a child, I always liked drawing fashion design. And I would draw these different things. And then I got into corporate and training and then I got into meditation and healing, and I became really passionate about it. And I'm still doing that. And then I have this show. But I met this woman who, has this clothing line that's a healing clothing line, and she's an artist. So it's like putting her healing art on the clothes and energizing it. And I really felt alive. It felt right to partner with her. And so, yeah, we're going to be coming out with products this year. So that could be something for our audience, what she was saying, connecting these different interests and being curious and being open to the possibilities.
Absolutely. And I can't wait until it comes out, actually.
Okay, great. Now I'm like announcing it. It has to come out. See, another reason why I brought it up to you. But that kind of inspired me, because sometimes you get into not a rut, but like, what am I doing? And how can I live my passions and be curious and still make a living?
Yes.
Get out there.
Yes. So the make a living part becomes difficult, right? And from my perspective, I'm still in corporate. And I work full time. I work for British Telecom. I'm a client lead for them. And
Wonderful.
then in the evenings, I have my own business. And also I do life coaching with Jack Canfield. I have
That's amazing. Oh my God. How did you meet Jack Canfield?
Well, I met him in 2008. And then in 2017, I became certified in his Success Principles program. And a year ago, he was putting out a new program called Game Changers. And what a privilege. He asked me to be one of the coaches. And I said, sure, 6 months, no big deal. Well, of course, there's a second round that I'm involved in now.
Oh my gosh.
Great. What a great privilege to be working with such an amazing person. So, by the way, what I need to say about that, everyone says I don't have time.
Well, that's because they haven't talked to you yet.
Right. The only thing I'm going to tell you is that you move into this level of timelessness when you are experiencing full joy with what you do. So just as an example, the people in my job are so amazing.
Oh my God. I bet they love you too, because your energy and your voice is like so calming. Like, I'm getting healed just like being here in your presence. And I'm sure you're doing that for your job.
Thank you so much. I have in my life the most amazing people at work. So what a pleasure to be there. And then what a pleasure in my own business. I teach a course called Life Transformation Mastery, attracting people into that course. Amazing people. And then working with Jack Canfield, working with like all these amazing mentors. Marcy Shimoff and Iman Agai. I mean,
Wow.
a lot of people surrounding me. But when you count all the hours in my day, it exceeds 24. So
oh, you are so abundant. You have exponential hours in the day. Yeah, you're having this like timeless energy. And then think about the energy. And I just love what you're sharing. And I'm so happy you're sharing this with our audience, because this show is Zen Success. And so many people think that there's a huge trend. Oh, leave your job, like leave corporate to start your own business, or do what you love, leave, like corporate, like is this bad thing, or
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Do you sometimes like hear that message of people training others, okay, train to leave your job and then start your coaching business, right?
Right. Well, corporate is a microcosm of the world.
Yes.
You will find all the good in it, and you will find all the bad in it, right? You will find everything in it. Everything.
That's so true. I know how to work corporate. I've done corporate, and I still have big clients, so I know.
Exactly,
Yeah.
of course. But basically, the whole concept of corporate and the world is, how do you fit in it? How do you understand your purpose in it? And how do you execute in that purpose? Just as an example, I would say, oh my gosh, 1998 timeframe, it hit me that I'm not in corporate to execute my job, but there is a purpose, a higher purpose that I'm there. So basically what I started doing is looking at myself and saying, okay, who's my boss? Who is my team? And again, anytime you have a team, you're there to serve them. They're not there to help you. You're there to serve them. You're there to see their potential and to get them to reach their potential. That's with a team,
Wow.
with your friends, right? So, and then your peers, and that's where some of the competition comes in, or whatever crazy stuff happens. But the whole time I always say, okay, so the universe put me here.
That's right.
What am I supposed to learn, and what am I supposed to teach?
Yeah. And really take that in, everybody, about what she said, because, you don't want to get stuck on the negative. How can I get out of here? It's what can I learn? Be aware of that, because there could be something powerful, and you can transform that relationship with your job.
Absolutely. So anyway, that's how your job could become a joy, right? It becomes a joy because it's not just you doing whatever you do that you may not like, but it's something beyond that, right? And by the way, I love my job. It's not something that I do that I don't like. I happen to love my job.
Yeah.
But
I never thought that for a minute, that you didn't love your job. You're very clear that you love your job and the people there, and that you're serving them. And that's amazing.
Exactly. So it's so that's one way, if you're in corporate, to come out of suffering, right? Like, because there's so many people that the first thing they tell you about themselves is how much they hate their job.
You know what? Oh my gosh. I have a confession that totally annoys me. Oh my God.
No,
It's like nails on a chalkboard. I just like want to walk away. Like I just like, I don't even want to listen to people complaining. Oh my gosh. I don't know. I'm just like, well, like, what are you going to do about it, or something,
right. But it's almost the same thing as if you're living in your life and all the people around you are people that are not supporting you, or
Oh, good point.
it's
A good point.
the same thing. So either you need to change your job, or you need to, Wayne Dyer used to say, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change, right?
Yeah. Love
So
him. Love Wayne Dyer.
So sometimes when I start not liking something, I always go,
Mm.
am I looking at things the wrong way? Is there another way to look at this that will make me understand better? Because the universe doesn't want you to suffer. You're not here to suffer. And going back again, you're here to experience joy, right? So if,
Oh,
if,
beautiful.
if you're not experiencing that joy, you need to do some analysis and you need to maybe even look at things a different way.
Yeah, amazing. It's so great to bring back Wayne Dyer's messages. I really connected with him, and then I was overjoyed to hear that we share the same birthday, May 10th.
Wow. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Isn't that a blessing?
Oh yeah, it is a blessing. He's
Yeah.
obviously he's passed on, but I want to go back to your book. Tell me about your book, Tsunami. You're in such service that I think part of you is just here. You're so present that you don't realize you're here to promote a book.
Oh,
Tsunami to
oh,
greatness.
oh.
Unleashing the power of self-love and synchronicity to become the best version of you. That's such a powerful title.
Thank you so much. So sorry to anyone who expects me to be pushing the book. Um,
Ah,
I'm I'm so
expects
shocked.
you. No, this is a conversation. I'm just
Of
teasing
course,
you.
of course. I just want to let you know. And again, imagine I'm like this in corporate. I I always feel that the book will find its way into whoever needs it. So I feel like I don't know how I will talk to you about it as to how it came about. And I'm sure
Yeah.
people who have nothing, who no interest in it will dismiss it. And people who might be interested in it may look at it, right? But the way that it came about is I used to teach the Dale Carnegie course
Oh,
for 14 years.
oh my gosh. That's
And
amazing. Did you ever do that in corporate?
oh, it was when I started teaching it, it was a 12-week course. It became an 8-week course and it became a corporate course.
Oh, okay.
So a lot of the people in my class used to come either they were the stars of the organization ready to be promoted. Some of the people maybe were struggling in their jobs and were there to get motivated and to to find the right spot in their organization. Several times I had Miss New Jersey in my class
Oh,
getting for the Miss America pageant, so you would get
incredible.
lots of people in the class. Um, but at the end of the class, I always used to tell a story to kind of summarize the class. And I used to call them Maria stories. And people used to come up to me and they used to say, you have to publish Maria's stories. Like, these are great stories.
Oh,
One of these people found his way to my publisher. So I was having a phone conversation with the publisher who said, someone contacted me that you should be writing a book and I would love to work with you. And I said, yes, my book is going to be Maria's stories. And she said, if you are Oprah, that would be perfect. But Maria's stories, nobody knows you, they will not sell. So you need to write about something else. So now I had a publisher, I had nothing to write. So a week later, my publisher, Christine Closer, she was holding an event in York, Pennsylvania. And I went. And during the event, she did a meditation. Close my eyes. I was meditating. During meditation, I hear tsunami. What? Tsunami? That's not a good word to be hearing during meditation. I was like, am I going to drown? What's going to happen? Are all the pipes in my house going to burst? Like,
oh
what
my
is that?
gosh.
Close my eyes again. Tsunami, tsunami. I said, Maria, calm down. Tsunami, what does that mean? I heard greatness. So at the end of the meditation, I ran to Christine. I was like, during the meditation, I kept hearing tsunami and greatness, and I have no idea what that means. And it can't be good. She said, oh, that's the title of your book. So now I had a publisher, I had a title. I just didn't know what I was going to write about.
Oh my gosh.
And it was a year that went by, and I was sitting at Starbucks, and these two boys came and sat next to me. And again, you try not to listen, but all of a sudden they're talking about, so what happened? I didn't take enough. I'm like, taking? Yeah, the last time I tried, I didn't take enough either. I'm like, they have to be shoplifters. Like, what is this about taking? And again, I'm trying not to listen, but I'm kind of like, what are they? Are they shoplifting? And as the conversation was going on, I realized they have made attempts to end their life. They're talking about taking pills.
Suicide. Wow.
So first time in my life, I become speechless. And
Oh my gosh.
everything is exploding. Like I have so much to say, and something is stopping me. Like something is telling me, do not intervene in their conversation. So
Okay.
I took out my computer and I started typing everything I had to say to them.
Okay.
And that became my book.
Wow.
Because what was happening to those boys, they were in a life tsunami. And every single one of us knows what that means, right? And so many of us experience this overwhelm where we think something is happening in our life and it's the worst possible anything. We always think we're the only ones going through it. We always think, I will never get out of this. There's no way out. And as I was typing how life precious is, and all of a sudden it dawned on me that I have no idea what I'm talking about, because when I was a teenager, there was no climate change. When I was a teenager, there were no shootings at the schools. When I was a teenager, there was no social media. So how could I ever understand what these boys are going through?
Yeah.
And what came to me, I was like, okay, so what was going on when I was a teenager? And what was my life tsunami then? And what it was that I liked a boy that didn't like me back.
Yeah.
It was the end of the world, tears and the girlfriends and, how could he not like you? I don't know, but I don't want to live. It's the end of the world. And now we laugh about it, but actually we're laughing at the version of us that didn't know then what we know now.
Right.
And since that time, there have been so many versions of us, most of them as a result of some kind of a life tsunami. And what I was trying to express is that there's so many versions, there's so many things that go on in our lives that almost we may be laughing about a few years from now. And to your audience, if something overwhelming is happening in your life right now, just think of your future version. Think of a future version of yourself and how at that time it may not be critical at all. It might be something to smile about or laugh about, right? So I'm hoping with that message, some of the criticality that we feel, the overwhelm that we feel, about whatever goes on, right? And again, to a teenager, me, a boy not liking me was the end of the end of the world, right? So right now we may be going through an end of the world of another kind, but just imagine it's just us reacting to something, and some future version of us may be laughing about it, right? So
Yeah, that's a really interesting perspective, because if you take a step back and realize, what would my future self think about this? And it could be laughter. It could be still sadness or disappointment. But yeah, that's really true. I believe that.
so I start, the first chapter is about hitting bottom,
Ah,
and that's when no talking will come through, right? Because
right. No one, yeah, they don't care. No one can hear. But you never had that yourself, did you?
no,
I was like, I can't even imagine you. That's why you had to hear these other people and feel their pain to write this message.
right, exactly. But with the hitting bottom, and again, if any of the audience is there hitting bottom, one of the things that you have to remember is that you are not depressed. You have not hit bottom.
You have to separate that emotion. Is that what you're implying?
Exactly. It's your thoughts and your
Yeah.
emotions that are putting you in the situation. And again, in my book, I go through a step by step how to come out of that. And I move into falling in love with you, understanding the perfection of you. So, regardless of what anyone tells you, and regardless of what you tell yourself, to just know that you were created perfectly. You're perfect just the way you are. And fall in love with that. Fall in love with that perfect you. Um, Beyond that point, so I start with managing your thoughts. I
Yeah.
talk about the vibration, that you need to up your vibration in order to attract better things.
Better things in your life. But I want to go back to this love piece and saying, okay, now it's time to fall in love with yourself. But do you offer steps for that? Is it finding one thing that you like about yourself? Because I want to help my kids with this, because sometimes they will say bad things about themselves. And I say, no, you got to say something positive about yourself. You're not allowed to say that. So, they're a little bit down sometimes too.
Right. So that's the chapter where I become very strong. You know how everyone says, oh, you bring that. And to be honest, I get the most pushback when I say you are perfect. No, I'm not. I'm just human. I'm imperfect. Okay. If you believe
Or
in
people
God,
say perfectly imperfect. There's a campaign for that.
okay. So, so for a minute, do you believe in a perfect God, or do you believe in a perfect universe, or do you believe in a perfect higher power? And if the answer is yes, then let's follow this logic. So this higher power said, I'm going to make the flowers perfect. I'm going to make all animals perfect. The trees are perfect. Everything is perfect. But when I make this one person, I'm going to mess them up. I'm going to make them so imperfect that,
Yeah. And that's
right?
why that when I said about that campaign, I could see you being like, no.
So I get a lot of pushback. Like, does that mean we should not try to better ourselves? Of course. I talk about versions of yourself. Of course, this whole life is a series of learnings, right? We keep growing. our soul keeps growing and we keep learning and we keep becoming the better version of ourselves continually, right? Except if we stop it. So in that chapter, you are perfect, you are beautiful. If you can't do math, that means you were not born to do stuff with math. You were born to write the books and to create the beautiful art. And if you can do math, you're here to do mathematical things and scientific things, right? So, but because I'm so strong in that chapter, I created a booklet that's free to everyone that's called 5 Ways to Self-Love.
Oh, beautiful.
And that's on my website. And again, it's totally free.
And you can share your website right now if you want.
It's called recreatesuccessnow.com.
Okay.
So it's recreatesuccessnow.com.
Mm-hmm.
And this booklet makes you take inventory of yourself. What are my talents? What are my skills? What do I think I'm here to do? And what successes, with your children.
Yeah, I'm going to download that for my kids.
I'm sure they have experienced lots of success
Yeah.
in many, many things. And those are the reasons to know that they are perfect as they are, and they need to love themselves. And let me tell you why this is so important. Imagine what the world would be like if everyone loved themselves, which gives you the capability to love others.
Because that's really the secret of loving others, isn't it?
Exactly.
It's a reflection. When you have that profound love, then it's like this infinity loop of connection with others and feeling that within them.
Exactly. So people who do bad things have believed bad things about themselves.
Yeah.
So if you believe you're no good, you're a loser, you're never going to amount to anything, if you believe I'm too fat, I'm too old, I'm too tall, I'm too short, whatever, right? That limits your capability to fully love the world, fully love others. So my vision of the world is a world where everyone loves themselves and everyone just loves one another, right?
Oh my gosh. I think I'm going to put that in my my vision of life. I'm going to take that from you because that is so beautiful. And I just felt that.
Thank you so much. So looking forward to that world.
Yes, absolutely. So what is the you touched on it a little bit. What's the power of self-love? What are some of the benefits?
The benefits of self-love is basically eliminating. When you love yourself, you eliminate all the negative thinking that goes on about yourself, and you become strong enough to not allow others to put down or to, you will never stop others from saying whatever they want to say.
Yeah, or thinking, giving you the evil eye or whatever it might be. Mm-hmm.
If you love yourself, though, it bounces off. You know what I mean? It's like Jack Canfield used to always say, this is before people had green hair. He used to say, if I walk up to you and I say, I hate your green hair, how would you react? Well, I don't have green hair, so I don't care. Go ahead and hate my green hair, right?
Right.
But if I come up to you and I say, I hate that you're a liar, all of a sudden you will start thinking, did I lie? Am I a liar?
Right.
And that's the reason we start getting upset, right? Because
no, it's true. Yeah.
we start believing maybe there's some truth in there.
Yes.
And anger, because you're not, right? So But if you totally love yourself and if you totally know who you are, all those things kind of bounce off. It's just like someone telling you they hate your green hair and you don't have green hair. So it kind of bounces off of you, right?
Yeah, it's so true. It's so true. And I think it's important to love yourself every day. I mean, it might be hard to always be focused on it, but just thinking about it.
Right. So I'm not asking anyone to sit back and all day long think, oh, look how great I am, because that's not it either, right?
Yeah.
The whole idea is to know you're just as important as anyone else.
Yeah.
As important. And the person next to you is just as important as
Right.
everything and everyone else, right?
Yeah.
So the minute that you start loving yourself, respecting and loving everyone and everything in the world, that gives you that extra power to go off and live your purpose and achieve your dream life, right? And what I'd like to share, just when I was writing the book, I thought it was going to be another book on the law of attraction, to be honest. I was going to
Did you
tell
know a lot about that, being a
I
trainer, right?
absolutely. And it was like, but I'll put my own way
Yeah.
of saying it, right?
Yeah. Right.
So um all of a sudden, as I was writing it, I was like, but that's not it. That's not the message. And then I said to myself, well, now I know why. That's only one universal law out of 12. So then I did a chapter on universal laws, describing all of them and saying, well, if you are trying the law of attraction and it doesn't work, well, don't forget, just as an example, that there's a universal law of rhythm and there's a flow, and you need to be part of that flow.
Oh,
And
I love that, because that's the name of the show, Move from Force to Flow.
absolutely. And as I kept writing about that, all of a sudden I realized that we are all part of a symphony.
Oh, amazing.
And
And necessary parts, because we all have an instrument to play that harmonizes, and balances.
I am so happy that you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, you could tell I had the immediate visualization.
I loved it. Thank you so much. And
Is that unusual? I thought the people you talk to, they just like get you.
nobody knows what I'm talking about. It was so many people tell me, could you come off your planet?
Oh my gosh.
But
No, we got self-love. We have self-love now.
absolutely. And that's when the last chapters of my book focus on the synchronicity of the universe.
Oh my gosh, that synchronicity. That was going to be what I wanted to go into next.
Yeah. Opening up to that flow, opening up to being part of that orchestra, and noticing the miracles, noticing the miracles in your life. Because if you think about, again, I'm not going to go back into work, so I'm going to leave, because that may have a negative connotation for some people. But if you think of people you love, your friends, if you kind of rewind the tape and you go back to how you met them, it's always, oh, I was somewhere. I'm going to tell you, one of my friends, Wendy, my mom had Alzheimer's and I was taking care of her. And it was really difficult to leave the house with my mother. It was really difficult to leave her alone. And it was the last day my driver's license was expiring. So I take my mother and I put her in the car and I drive the motor vehicle and I tell her, just wait, I'm going to be right back. And with Alzheimer's, you run the risk of them opening the door and taking off.
That's right.
So I was so stressed. I was like, I'm going to be running in and out nonstop to make sure that she's okay and they're okay and I get my license. And I'm in and out like a crazy person. They take my picture, I'm signing papers, running back out. And as the process finally finishes, I'm running out to go to the car and leave. And this woman stops me and she says, "My name is Wendy. I noticed you in there. You were in and out. And I'm a Mary Kay consultant and I'm putting a booklet together of beautiful ladies and I want you to be in my booklet." And I was like, no, you don't understand. See my car over there? See my mom inside? I don't have time for that stuff. So she said to me, here's my phone number. Can I have your phone number? And I was like, sure, but you could see, like the last thing on my mind is Mary Kay. So I run, I drive off. And about 2 weeks later, Wendy calls and she says, "I've been thinking about you. Do you need any help with your mom? Like, can I help you in any way?"
Oh my gosh.
And then, of course, I said, "No, everything is good." A month later, she called and I said, "Wendy, my mom passed away." And she was so amazing and so supportive through that process. And she's still my friend. She was one of the people that edited my book. Like, she's still in my life. And all from a motor vehicle craziness that I went through. But I could tell you stories about every single one of my friends. It was almost being at the right place at the right time. You come together and these become the most special people in your life, right? So synchronicity brings us together for a purpose.
Mm.
And that purpose may not come about until 10 years from now, right? There's people that I met and then you bump into them later and they become key major people in your life, or you become key major people in their life, right? So be open to the synchronicity of the universe. Just go with the flow and notice the miracles. And most of the time, if you say that I don't have any miracles in my life, just notice how you met the special people in your life. How did you meet them?
Yeah, that's amazing. What is Zen success to you?
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
I felt like just saying that to you, just is like, like a flowing river.
Exactly. It is, and again, I'm so sorry for the oversimplification. I don't mean to offend anyone. I'm going to say it's totally getting it. Getting what? Getting enlightenment. Getting to the point where you wake up in the morning and you are open to all the good that the universe has for you, and you just flow with it, and you're protected, and you're living and doing exactly what you're supposed to. And that is Zen success. It's getting to the point where you don't have to worry about law of attraction and you don't have to worry about anything. Again, first steps, use the law of attraction because it teaches you about how the universe works, and experience the success with that. But ultimately, it's going above love, above peace, hitting enlightenment, which is total automatic pilot of total joy and flow. And again, the oversimplification of it, I hope doesn't offend anyone, but I hope you understand what I'm saying. Some people don't, by the way. Like,
well, it's incredible. I get what you're saying. Yeah, I get you.
Thank you.
From my heart to yours. It's been such a pleasure connecting with you. Our time is up. Can you believe it? You looked at me like it's over.
We could talk forever.
I know we could. We could talk forever.
What an amazing time. Thank you
I know.
so much for having me.
Oh my gosh. I loved it. And I loved hearing about your book. Oh, you're making me cry now. I'm all emotional. You're so amazing. Tsunami to greatness. And thank you for all the tips of loving ourselves and living our best life. And I'll put your website and how to order your books in the show notes. So thank you so much for being on my show today, Maria.
Thank you so much. I feel you deeply also. I just want to let you know. Thank you.
Thank you.
So much.
That's it for today's episode of Zen Success. Head on over to iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, or wherever you listen to shows. Subscribe to the show and share with friends. Be sure to head on over to ZenSuccessShow.com to help you on your Zen success journey. And join us on the next episode. May you find your own Zen success in life.